So this is work in progress on the ATS ETS2 simulator replica cockpit, or kind of a replica. It's a, you know, there's a lot of compromise has to go on when you're doing a sim, unless you're going to drop a actual truck cab into your garden or something, which, you know, if I had the money, that's what I'd do. But we allocated a 6 foot by 6 foot space, so we're slightly shorter than a real Volvo FH 5 or something like that, because I think they're about 7 on the inside. I know because the bunk bed that was initially going to go there was 7 foot long when I measured it, because the dealership where I got these seats, and we'll talk about those in a minute, they did have the bunk that was available at a reasonable price, and I was tempted to replicate the entire, you know, layout of the interior. This bulkhead is off my old van, which I had from new in 2009, and we did about 250,000 miles together. So that's gone to somebody else now, but they didn't have the bulkhead. I had that knocking about, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it. So that's going to be raised up off the floor, because this is going to go up to where that shelf is, where the model railway is, as they're going to be the height of the cab, because obviously they come up inside. European trucks come up on the inside. So we have, I've just put the carpet in. I haven't done that bit yet, because I'll do that when I design the part that's going to go there. Now, the reason I haven't gone for the bunk is because initially when I was going to go for the bunk, I was going to have this screen here, which is the left hand screen. That was going to be on a door on a hinge, and you're going to open that to gain access, because obviously this would be sealed off. But I'd lose too much space of what I use other stuff for, so I decided to fix that in place and have the curtain that's going to be here, what you find on some cabs, that would pull across. That's going to be here, and that's going to be the way in, because all this will be sealed, because we don't want any light from outside coming in, because we're going to have some Philips Hue lights in here which connect to the PC, and they transfer what's on the PC into the cabin for immersion. And that's what I'm looking for, is like proper immersion in this rig. So let's move on, because this is going to be a part seat basically, so it'll be half of a bunk essentially, this part here. So you'll get in through here, and then this part here will be almost like you get in a Merc, the new Mercs, where you've got this sort of padding at the back and a seat. I'll get that custom made, and they will they do furniture and all that kind of thing, so they'll make me that custom. And also you could either sit on it if there's people sitting here, or you could, you know, the dog can go on it or whatever, or one of the dogs if it wants to. So looking at the seats, these are Volvo FH passenger seats. You don't really want driver seats, because they've got all the air suspension electronics in them. Besides being hard to find and expensive, they wouldn't work anyway. These passenger ones have got manual slide, they've got ride height adjustment, they've got tilt, and they've got recline. So you've got everything you need there in a normal seat. These are brand new Volvo FH seats. They were taken out of a Volvo that came from Volvo to the UK, and they were the wrong spec. So the dealership sold me 2, and they are absolutely mint, and night and day over the sim racing stuff that you'll get, or any kind of stupid crappy sim seat that you'll buy. You know, think about it, if you can buy a real seat second hand, no matter what condition it's in, it's designed for people to sit on a long period of time, and all the adjustment that you get on these, you're never going to get. I've arsed around with that rig I had last time, and it's just a pain in the arse trying to get things to, you know, where do you want to put things. You're only limited by where the mounting points are. You've only got a certain amount of adjustment. The seat was creaking all the time, it was uncomfortable. So this is just a game changer. So yeah, 2 Volvo seats mounted onto wooden bases, so you can use the slide function, and also you can move it around if you want to. And this one is mounted to the pedals, so it's always in the right ratio. Obviously it slides backwards and forwards like the other one does. I am going to get hold of a real eye shift that would go on the driver's seat here, and I'm going to try and convert it to USB because I want the sequential gears, but I want it like the real thing. Okay, so the dash, all this has got foam behind it for sound insulation, to try and stop the sound from getting too far and annoying people. We've got 4 Asus gaming 34-inch curved screens. They've got a 165 Hertz refresh rate and 0.1 millisecond what's it called? I can't think what it's called now. 0.1 millisecond, yeah, you know what I mean, so they don't blur. The wood is 3 pieces of ply screwed together to make it solid, and it's sort of attached in, and then there's a piece on the front for fascia, and then I've PVA'd some material to it, sculpted this around, that kind of thing, and made a bit of an armrest. It has to be solid because the base that I've got is a Moza R12. I didn't go for the bundle because the bundle comes with an R5, and it's a pity they didn't do a bundle with the R12 as well. And also the pedals with the SR-P light, so I went for the SR-P because they're slightly better. So I bought the SR-P, the Moza truck wheel, and the R12 base because it's 12 Newton meters of torque, and the bracket which is screwed in there to the pieces of wood because it still makes the whole thing vibrate, you know, when it's going, because there's a lot of power going through it. Another armrest this side, so I'll get in and I'll show you where we are. Now these are 34-inch, like I say, and because you're fairly close up anyway, I don't really feel that I need anything bigger. A, it would have been too expensive, and B, you got to think about room because I'm 6 foot across here with 2 screens at the front. The bezels are tiny. I've still got to line this one up. The bezels are tiny, and even though I bought the strips that go over to blur, I don't think I'm going to do it because that might annoy me more than just the fact that there's a strip. And you know, some windscreens have that anyway in older vehicles. By the by, it doesn't bother me because you're looking through this. It's not like it's 3 screens projected where the center point would be here. You're looking through this one, so it doesn't bother me at all. And the side ones I have on the software so that they're lined up with the pillars, so you don't notice them anyway. And that's the hard part, using the software. The keyboard is going to be, I'm going to get a mount here that swivels around, I think, because there's not really any way you can put the keyboard where it's not going to look like a keyboard, and you do need it. So I think I'm just going to have it here, so it pulls around when I need it to, with a place for the mouse, because it's a pain messing around on top of here, especially since I've mounted this here because my arm's always hitting it. The Moza racing wheel is highly recommended. It's absolutely amazing. It's totally transformed everything over the Thrustmaster that I had before. It's just brilliant. You can program everything, and you can feel everything through the wheel. It's just absolutely fantastic. And you know what they say on the middle, the feel of the wheel seals the deal. That's what my daughter tells me. And it's true, this is absolutely fantastic bit of kit. Proper metal wheel here and proper feel to it. Really nice. I can't recommend this enough. So that's where we are so far. Now we have got, like I say, it's going to go up to where the shelf is because I have got a model railway that runs all the way around because I'm mental. The aircon, I did think initially was going to be the big problem because it's in the worst place possible, but I'm going to lean into it like I try to do with most things. I'm going to, I've already ordered 2 bread bins that are, because if you look on a real truck, they've got kind of an overhead here that would come up. So here, there will be two bread bins that I'm going to stick together and paint them, and then they won't foul the aircon, which is still going to work for the room. But if I do want aircon in here, hopefully I'll just open the bread bin. It's as simple as that, and I'll get aircon inside the cab. Over there, I'm not sure if I'm going to put some more. I'll see how these ones go first. I might just leave that or put a different kind of thing on it. See how these go first. And then in the roof, where the skylight would be, I'm going to have a hatch, because obviously I need to access the shelf when I'm working on the model railway. So I need access to there, and it'll be ideal just to be able to stand up and go through it. And, you know, to have a skylight on anyway. If I was running 3 screens, I would run the 4th screen as a skylight, and it would be camera pointing up somehow. I don't know how to do it, but yeah, that'd be cool. But the 4 screens is definitely where it's at for me. It's a game changer. I've got an iPad here for the controls. I've got an iPad here, and this is a Amazon Fire Kindle, an old one that I had off my uncle. My uncle Phil used to be a truck driver. He owned, well, his dad owned Ford Transport, which is the company I virtually run in the game. So I thought it was kind of fitting that I have his iPad as the one that does the dials. He was an intercontinental truck driver back in the day. But with the carpet that I've put in today, the carpet cost me £50. It's only a cheap one that I just banged in there. And the sound system, the soundbar and the subwoofer are all underneath here. The subwoofer is mounted under there and the soundbar is here. So you get the sound coming like you would from the engine area down this way. So it's out of the way. I've got no cables down here and no nothing other than the ones that run up from the pedals to the PC, which is the other side of here now, out of the way. But you can basically drive with your arm on the side. You know, it's a proper light. It took me a long time to get to where we are today, and most of that was testing, getting things. First of all, I did a tech demo and got all the stuff together and got the screens to work, got everything I wanted it, mounted the seats, getting them where I wanted them so that they had full adjustment and the eye level was right. I did raise it up slightly to what it was, so I'm looking about here on the screen. And if you notice, the side screens I've lowered because you can see down, especially on this side. You can see down more things next to you, and a lot of trucks are like that. They have a lower window on the sides than they do on the front. The downside to that is if you run any other game on it, it doesn't compensate for that, and it will be offset. But I have come to the conclusion that I'm not interested in racing sims because, you know, I got a Assetto Corsica, and I can drive Monza with my eyes shut. You know, you're just learning the same track over and over and over again, just shaving seconds off. You know, you're in the same gear on the same corners over and over and over. It's kind of dull. Whereas with the truck sim, you are going all over the world, basically. You know, France, Germany, Spain, American Truck Simulator, you're over there, or you're over in Romania, or UK. That map needs revising, but you don't know what's coming next on the roads, really, and there's a lot more to think about with all your trailers and things like that. So it's a lot more involving, and the graphics are fantastic. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it so far, and highly recommended if you've got, you know, like I say, I'm running 6 foot by 6 foot, but you could technically lose this bit and pull this in and gain 2 foot. You could do 6 foot by 4 foot. You could do it in that, and you'd have to have access with a door here. Now the other thing with having a door here is that if anybody else, like my daughter, comes in, I'd have to get out and she'd climb over and all that nonsense. Another reason why I didn't do that, and I went for access here instead. As tempting as it is when you've had a long drive to just get in the back and have a little nap, which would be nice. These do recline all the way anyway. So I'm not saying that I've had a little nap in one already, but I have had a nap in these already. So that's where we are. The next phase now will be probably building in this part here, raising this up. I've got to build a frame in the back here to raise this up. So this part here that's kind of concave will be up near the ceiling as high as it's going to be. So it's going to stand about 6 foot, which is plenty for me because I'm only a dwarf anyway. And I'll turn on the American Truck Simulator and show you what it looks like. Quick note on the Moza software, you can change how far it rotates, so you can have it all the way up, so you're proper turning it over and over and over. 1800 is about a nice compromise. You're not spinning it forever and a day to turn a corner. You can program that, and you can also so you can go in and you can change, so you can have this lighting up on here if you want to, and also you can change what LEDs light up what color. You can also change and get it exactly as it is on your rev counter on the screen on your truck. You can have it go up so long, so many colors, and change the other colors. It's absolutely phenomenal what you can do with it. And then the base, obviously you're changing how far it turns before it gets stiffer, and what kind of force it's putting through. And with the pedals you can configure all those, so you can have all the brake curve and everything like that. It's kind of cool. And then obviously you launch your game through there. So I'm mainly using these two at the moment. These I've just stuck on quickly. I haven't had time to configure any of them yet. But this is running on a sim dashboard, so when you switch to Euro Truck Simulator, it comes on and says, do you want to switch, and you just press OK, and it loads up all the defaults that you've set. So this is the view from the left. Some nice rain effects. The mirror's really clear on these. And then that's where we are. Well, I haven't driven forward yet. That'll level off when I drive forward. Pan all the way around. So let's start up. You get a little bit of resonance on the steering wheel, but you can adjust that obviously, because with the Moza you can adjust everything. I've got a few things set up on here, like air horn, high beams, indicators, and wipers, light functions, the OK button I've got on that, and the volume for the radio. Scroll up and down on there for radio channels, and I scroll up and down on there for different views. And then this one I use for, you can have this as 4 position or as a hat switch. I've got both of those. I don't use that for anything at the moment, but this one I use for just gears until I get my I-shift set up. So it's in automatic at the moment, which I hate. I have got a 6-speed shifter that will do splitter, but it's old-fashioned, and you never really get that in modern trucks, even though I've gone for an old Kenworth at the moment on this one. So it's just done an update to 1.54 just before I came on, so I don't know if that's going to affect anything, or there's a few more adjustments that I've noticed on it. But anyway, by the by, let's stick it in first and drive one-handed. Now the volume, I've tweaked all the sound so that there's not too much engine, because it does get on your nerves if you've got a lot of engine noise. So I skipped that. You get a little truck park here. Look at these bad boys. Get some reverse. You can adjust torque twist as well, obviously in the game, and you get that through the feedback, how much twist you're going to feel from the torque of the engine. is my favourite thing of all time, I think, game. So I know if I click this, we'll get that. If I click it again, it'll go faster. Click it again, it'll go faster. And I click it again and it'll go off. Just try not to dink it. But I'll do some more videos as I progress through, and it would be nice to have there's a stalk system that they're bringing out that you put in here for the indicators. It makes it more natural than having to remember to press a button. And obviously you can do wipers and stuff off that. That'll probably be sometime in the future. So far so good. It's absolutely amazing. That's the progress, and I don't go on too long now. So next update, hopefully I'll have some more built on top and maybe the bunk put in. We'll see.